Hey homesteaders, welcome to another Sunday session of the Australian Homesteaders podcast, where we have conversations with Australian homesteaders and chat about the experience of homesteading in Australia. We stream these live into the Australian Homesteaders community Facebook group most Sundays, so you get exclusive early access to the full discussion and the opportunity to ask questions of our guests. Then it is uploaded as a video podcast to our YouTube channel, Australian Homesteaders. I'm your host, Amanda from Rockpile Off-Grid Homestead, and today's chat is about fueling change with home biogas, the off-grid system turning waste into sustainable energy, with one of the Home Biogas co-founders, Yair Teller. Yair Teller is a visionary, an entrepreneur committed to the cause of sustainability and driven to empower underserved communities. He is an internationally recognized authority on domestic biogas systems, frequently lectures at institutions around the world, and remains at the forefront of research developing integrative systems of waste management, anaerobic digestion, and algae production at Ben Gurion University. Teller discovered domestic biogas in India and went on to conduct field projects constructing systems in Mexico, Kenya, the Palestinian territories, and Israel. In 2012, Yair Teller, together with Oshik Efrati and Erez Lenzia, founded HomeBiogas and began developing the most advanced and affordable small-scale biogas systems. HomeBiogas is a world leader in developing groundbreaking, simple-to-use biogas systems, enabling people and businesses to turn their organic waste into self-made clean energy on site. HomeBiogas is serving thousands of households, farmers, businesses, underserved communities, and those seeking a more sustainable way of living. More than 10,000 biogas systems in over 100 countries around the globe. The HomeBiogas vision is to make advanced biogas technology mainstream and accessible to people everywhere. Welcome, Yair. Thank you so much for joining us. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm happy to say that today we are already serving 30,000 families. So it's not 10,000 anymore. It's already 30,000.
Okay.
So we're advancing. And hopefully it will grow this year much more. And yeah.
30,000, that's incredible.
Yes.
You need to update your website. Let people, All right. So what I want to do is I want to go back to the beginning, right? And find out what inspired you and your co-founders to create the home biogas system like 10 years ago.
So how it started is, like I said, it started with a vision. I learned marine biology and water ecology. And I was thinking to myself, okay, what I do with this degree? And I was traveling in South India, in Karnataka, and there I actually I climbed a high mountain. And on top of the mountain, I met a beautiful local Indian family, and they invited me for tea. And I went into the kitchen, and there I saw it, a beautiful blue flame. And I was amazed because until then in India, who traveled in India knows that they cook mostly on dry cow dung or wood, and it's full of smoke, it smells, and it's really bad. And I asked them, how did the balloon of gas balloon, LPG, got to the top of this mountain? So they told me, come, sure, we'll take you to the backyard. And there they had a few cows, like a local farming Indians, they have a few cows. And they said to me, look, the cows are around, they come in and out, and in the evening we milk them. And they do what they do, they poop what they poop. And in the morning we wash the poop into this hole in the ground. And there was a hole in the ground made of cement and brick and a little dome coming out of the ground. And from the dome came out a pipe into the house. And then he says to me, this is biogas. And then they cook in it. And I looked at it and I said, wow, this is really amazing. They're actually catching the cow manure and making gas. And then he said, not only this, that what comes out after like 30 days, what comes out, the slurry, is actually amazing fertilizer, and he's fertilizing his garden. He grows food, fertilizer. He grew also coffee, so he fertilizes also the coffee. And he also grew a beautiful white flowers called kala flowers, and he was selling it in the weekend market. And I was amazed. First of all, because I'm a water biologist, and I learned, I understood what was this. Anaerobic fermentation of organic material creates biogas and its energy. I learned it in water waste management, and I understood it, but I never saw one in live working. Second of all, I also learned a lot, at least in Israel, big problems that we had with cow manure going into the rivers and lakes and contaminating them with a lot of contaminating them and causing algae blooming and overnutrification of the whales and the Sea of Galilee. And there was a lot of issues. So first of all, it came to me that, wow, he's actually catching the cow manure. It's not going down the river, producing clean cooking. His wife doesn't need to cook and smoke. And that's a big problem in the world. We can talk about it, but that kills millions of people each year, mostly women and children. And he's making a revenue. Wow, this is amazing. Selling the flowers, and he's producing good, and he has fertilizer. So I said, wow, this system does all in one. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to focus in my life. And I said, okay, I'm going back to Israel, and I'll see how I can help to promote it, because I didn't remember I saw one in Israel like that. So I came back, I finished my degree focusing on it, and I understood that there's actually a lack of this technology in the world, because the technology that I saw in India is a very, very old technology. There are actually a few millions of those, tens of millions, mostly in rural areas, farmers. But you need to dig in the ground like a 10 cubic meter hole, put cement and brick, cover it. It's a process of a month. And if the ground moves or it's not built well, you have a crack and it leaks and it doesn't really work well. So it's a good technology. It's a good idea. But the point in this, I come into my partners, is the idea is amazing, but how you actually succeed to bring it to us, to people like us, to people in the Western world, to people all over the world, something that we are used to, like we have a cell phone. I don't know, 10, 20 years ago in India or any place in the world, maybe 10 million people in India had a telephone. Today, because of technology, 2 billion cell phones are in India today. So in this, we thought, okay, how we take something that is amazing, the idea is amazing, but how we make the technology available to people across the world. So this was the vision, and in this idea, I came also to my partners, Oshik and Erez. Oshik was a product development. He knew a lot about it, and Erez more in financing. And together we came out with a vision to open a company that will make biogas affordable and available to all. And how we make this technology that we understood that it needs to be easy to ship, easy to build, fast, and easy to operate, and only this way we can actually promote this technology and make it affordable and available to all, in the understanding that this is we're giving a solution for one of the biggest problems today in the world. What are we doing with our organic waste? Not only, of course, organic waste, as here was a cow manure, but we also did a lot of testing, because where we live in Israel, we don't have cows and we don't have pigs. We have food waste. And we knew about compost, but we wanted something that is even better, easier, more cool. And from and it's amazing, and I'll explain why. Because today I have a biogas system in my house for more than 10 years. My children, they're 12 and 10, they grew up with a biogas system. All their life, they know that waste is a resource. But until today, every time I come and cook dinner and I cook on the biogas, every day we use the biogas. Until today, for me, it's like magic. I light the flame and it's like, I don't believe that it's actually coming from the waste, from the potato peel. I'm actually cooking a potato and potato peels and a banana peel. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
And it's like magic. And it's a magic that you have every day in your house for hours. And then the liquid fertilizer comes back and it's produced every day. So the incentive is immediate. You get the result immediate, daily. And this is the magic of the biogas. And so this was the vision, how we make this magic, this magic available for everybody in the house across the world.
Wow. So it's a kind of the ultimate closed system, right? You're still producing compost that can be used to grow more organic matter that can then feed the biogas. And you've got that great in between part where the magic of actually using the biogas. I'd be interested to hear about the actual research and development process. Like, how long did that take, and what were the ways that you try to tackle those problems about taking that old system and turning it into something that was shippable and more modern and mobile?
So that's a very serious question. It's actually our strength maybe. This is what we did in the last 10, 12 years already. In the beginning, we went around and we bought existing systems. We built systems from cement underneath the ground, and we tested them, and we built other types that were around. And we really tested because in the beginning, we wanted just to promote the technology. And we found customers. In the beginning, it was farmers, Bedouins, herders, and other customers. And also private houses. We also tested private houses only with food waste. We really tried to understand different technologies, different areas. And we saw in the end that we have to develop something from ourselves. We need to develop, and slowly, we started to have ideas how to make it. We saw the problems and the positive and the negative in each system that was available before. And we started to develop our own system, test it in the field, live customers, see the problems, the positive and negative, and what comes out, and of course with the customers, and also a lot in our homes, in my house, Oshik, Erez, and other people we have. So we saw it. Our wives told us. Our wives are a major part of the development of the system. This works, this doesn't work, the stove doesn't work, this is not nice, this is nice. So we got a lot of feedback. Then our friends, family, and then of course more and more customers in the field. First in Israel, in the Palestinian territories, and then of course across the world. And it's an ongoing process, and I feel that today we really got to an amazing product, but we're continuing. We're continuing to develop all the time and make it better and better and better. So this is our strength. We're very strong in developing products, new ideas, new vision, new concepts. Yeah. But what we have now is a really good system. We find that it's what we succeeded to have today. Really works well. Also, we have a high quality product, but that can be easily put into a box, about a 20-kilogram box, shipped across the world. You open it, you fill it up with water, you start it up, and it's up and going. In about
Right.
2-3 hours, you can have it up and going instead of 1 month. So this is like the big difference, from a
Yeah.
product that you need to dig in the ground and cement a brick and it takes about a month, to a product that you can build it up and going in 2 hours.
Yeah. And
This is the innovation.
Yeah, it solves that core problem of making it accessible, right? So,
Yes.
all right, so you kind of touched on how quickly it is to set it up and get going. Could you tell us how the system works, kind of from like go to woe?
So the system actually works like us, or like an animal. It has a mouth. You throw in it has a mouth, a neck, a stomach, and out.
And out.
So let's think about, let's say, even a cow, or for us, as I said, is like you have you throw in organic waste, any waste that you think about, more organic waste, but that is breakable, let's say, that is easily breakable by the bacteria that we have there. That means food waste, animal waste, and we also have systems that take care of human feces. We don't throw in branches, logs, things like that. That's hard for the bacteria to break. So any kind of that kind of waste can go into the system. And it's anaerobic. That means that it's airtight in a specific way that we build it. So then it goes into the stomach. The stomach is airtight, and then because it doesn't have oxygen, it ferments. The fermentation process produces a biogas. It's like, let's say, fermenting sugar, wine. It produces alcohol, and that also has energy. So here it produces the biogas, so it has energy. And this biogas, we have a specific way that it creates a pressure for the gas to go into the stove. We also supply the stove, the burner, and you can click and cook on it. And in the other end, the process, after minimum of average of 30 days, the organic material is minimum inside the system for 30 days or more. It's really broken down, dissolved, and comes out a rich nutrient with a lot of micro and macronutrients, liquid fertilizer, very good liquid fertilizer that you can put in your garden. Yes.
I was just going to touch on the fact that you mentioned human waste, and one part of the evolution of your product is adding the HomeBiogas toilet, I think, attachment. So I mean, so it's evolved from just being like animal manure to also including or other organic waste from your household, but also human waste. How did that development come about?
So it's important for me to say that, let's say in my house, I don't have animals. I'm like more than 10 years or more than that, 12 years, I have a system without any animal waste. It's only food waste. So you don't have to have an animal to have it. The toilet came out. I live off grid. So we used to live off grid. And we used to have a compost toilet. And one day, my wife was telling me, Yair, I had enough throwing the compost bin and taking care of it. I don't know, find a solution. And that's how it started.
Fix it, yeah.
Fix it. No, it's good, A need is that, when you have a need, you have a problem. That's how you have innovations. So I knew that there are biogas systems around the world that were treating human waste in China and other places, Nepal, but they were also underneath the ground. And our system, we built it above the ground. And also I didn't want to have, it's a smaller system. So the system, when I was thinking what do I need how can I input human waste inside the system? The regular flush toilet cannot work with our system, cannot work. One, because we don't believe in using so much water to flush down a little bit of poop. And second of all, because the system cannot cope with so much water. It's too much water, it will flush out the system. Third, I was thinking we needed to have an ability also to put it above ground. That means that we have to have a special toilet that can actually push the liquid above ground and not only underground with gravity like a regular toilet system that you have today, like a regular sewage. So with these ideas that we need low flush system, off-grid, our system is totally off-grid. That means today you can hook it everywhere and it doesn't need any electricity or water power.
Wonderful.
Pressure. So with this idea also that we need to have the toilet also off-grid.
Yep.
And we came out to develop, to look around and develop the connection of our toilet to this kind of a special to the system. And we checked and then we found out that we had like a special toilets that are actually in marine toilets, that they have a small pump.
Yep.
They have a small pump. They can suck in water. They can push out water. Every flush is between a half a liter to a liter. They're totally off grid, and they can push up the liquid, push down wherever you want. So I started to connect it. I connected one in my house. Then I connected one in the office. Then my neighbor saw it, said, I want one, and another neighbor, and another neighbor, and another neighbor. You know, like all my neighbors around it started to want it. Then another community next by said, wow, this is amazing. We also want it. And then it started to be something very big, very big. And I'm happy to say that today we're really selling it across the world. We're also in advanced development of more technologies around it and more systems that are around it that make it more improved and more treated. So this is where we're looking. We're also in this, we're all the time looking how to advance. But I have to say that the solution that we have today is very affordable. It saves at least per toilet 40,000 liters of water a year.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Of clean drinking water. Helps to prevent contamination of the groundwater. In our offices, we're saving at least 150,000 liters of water a year. In HomeBiogas altogether, our impact in the world this last year by our toilets, we saved more than 9 million cubic meters of fresh, clean drinking water. Just because of this technology. This is a system that we tell people are using it.
Okay.
This is how it started, and it became a product. Of course, there was a lot of evolution, how we connect it, how the inlet, how the outlet, how it's all working together. There's a lot of R&D around it, but in the end, this is the product. So you can put it everywhere, anywhere. Off the grid, doesn't need any electricity or water pressure.
It sounds like it is going to continue to evolve as well as you guys identify different areas of need and potential of new technologies. I'm interested to know on the other end, like the fertilizer or the liquid fertilizer that comes out, does that need to be like, no matter whether it's the toilet or the animal or organic waste, does that fertilizer need to be diluted before use, or what's the kind of application for that?
Okay, it's a good question, because we do a separation from human feces. If the system has human feces, it is not used above ground as a fertilizer. It is not. It goes underneath ground to a secondary and third way treatment into like a mulch basin. And around it, if you want, you can plant like banana trees, papaya trees, flowers, but you cannot use it for above ground application. That means the minute
Gotcha.
it leaves the toilet, you don't touch it.
Okay.
The system is treating it, the system takes care of it, but it's not for being used above ground application. You get the gas out of it, and you get the treatment and the reduced impact of using less water and contamination of the ground. For food waste and animal waste, yes, you can use the liquid fertilizer. We have a guide also how to use it, a manual, also advanced manuals, also videos online in our customer support, how to use it, also for farmers, also for gardeners. But the liquid needs to be diluted about 1:3, 1:4. I think the best application, one of the best applications, of course, you can go around with a bucket or with, and you can just go and give it to your trees and bushes. But today we also connected to the drip irrigation system. So we have in the garden, the Biogas system, the outlet is connected automatically into the drip irrigation system. And when the drip irrigation system of your garden starts working, there's a pump that brings it the liquid like fertilizer.
Yep.
The fertilizer pump of the irrigation system sucks it in, and it's fertilizing the garden automatically. So you don't even need to think about it. Throw your waste and have a beautiful garden. That's it.
That's wonderful.
It really works amazing. Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So, okay. So I'm wondering.
Also, I want to say one last thing is that you can use the liquid fertilizer. You can use the liquid fertilizer also for if you do want compost, let's say you have branches, leaves, whatever, you can take the liquid fertilizer because it's actually what the system does. If before that you had the apples and banana peels, whatever, that take months sometimes to break down in the compost pile, here it's taken care of. You throw it into the biogas system, you don't need to think about it. The biogas system will dissolve the nutrients from the food waste or from the animal waste into the liquid, will break, and the organic material will become a gas, CH4, methane gas. And then you can take the liquid fertilizer and actually apply it on your compost pile.
So you sort of inoculate, you inoculate your
not only
existing...
inoculate, like like not only inoculating, but also if you have excess, let's say liquid fertilizer, or you want to help it work faster. Why? Because in compost, you want organic material, you need liquid, and you need nutrients. So from the biogas fertilizer, you get the nutrients, you get the liquid. And if you have leaves, you have grass, you have anything like that you can mix together, it's amazing. Also worms, the red worms, they love the liquid fertilizer. They just love it. So you can continue growing them if you want. Yeah.
Is that drip irrigation system that you mentioned something that you supply through as one of your products, or?
No, you don't need. There's enough companies that do it well. We can advise like what drip irrigation, how to connect it. We have like a manual how to connect the drip irrigation. We have a manual look at what's better that we think what kind of drip irrigation or what specific size of nozzle, or how to put the drip irrigation. We advise how to do it, but there's enough companies out there that know how to do it good enough. We don't need to be there. Yeah.
I've got quite a few questions coming in. Do you mind if I shoot a couple of questions at you from people that are listening in?
I'm here, yes.
Okay, so people are curious, how much organic material do you actually need to put into the system to keep it running on, a daily or a weekly basis or something like that?
Okay, so actually the bacteria, the minute you started it, the system, you activated it. And today we activated it with a little bit of animal manure, like cow manure, sheep manure, goat manure, rabbit manure, and any herbivore, because they have the bacteria inside the stomach.
Yep.
So that's the activation part, and then you can continue with anything you want, with the food waste or anything. But the minute you start it, the bacteria are, you can put any amount you want, and what you'll get out is compared to the amount you put in. So that means you can put half a kilo a day, you can put 2 kilos a day, you can put 20 liters of animal waste. It varies. What will come out is the amount of liquid and gas that compared to what you put in. And it's okay also to leave the system a few weeks without putting anything.
Okay.
And the bacteria will be fine. You don't have to feed them every day. You don't have to feed them. They're okay. They're very strong. They're here before us for millions of years, and they're strong bacteria.
Cool.
No problem.
Yeah, because that was one of the next questions, was if you needed to go away or anything like that, how long could it just sort of look after itself? So a few weeks, you say?
No, I left my system for like 4 months.
Oh, okay.
Came back. After that, I just started it in the beginning, like a little slowly. That means like you put in the beginning, you don't throw in it a lot, slowly in the first week, and then it's no problem. The bacteria are there. They're waiting for us.
Cool. That's awesome. It makes it accessible on a whole nother level as well, because you don't have to babysit it on a daily basis. So
no.
That's really great. People are curious about what you've got your burner, the magical blue flame. Are there any other, I guess, plans to release more kind of gas fitting options for, say hot water systems or other like cooking applications? Or
so we're now in the last stage. We're going to really come out now, starting to sell like a shower, like hot water on demand shower system. So that's another application that so you can have an indoor or outdoor shower, however you want.
Oh, that's awesome. Another couple of questions I got through from about the toilet. One is, what's the best way to clean the toilet in regards to anything you're putting on there that you do or do not want into the biogas system? And also someone said, I've heard you can't use toilet paper in the HomeBiogas toilet system. Is that true? And if so, what's the reason for it?
Okay. So one, you can clean it with any eco-friendly soap. Just don't throw in like chlorine or one of those bacteria killers, because it will make the system work slower. So no problem to use vinegar, or if you want to use the eco-friendly soap, use it. So it works.
Cool.
So that's one thing. Regarding the toilet paper. So the toilet paper, the point with the toilet paper is that the piping of the system is a little more narrow. It's like 2 inch, a little less than 2 inch in the size. So sometimes people, they used to, let's say, I don't know, use a lot of toilet paper, and then it go in, and then it's clogged, and then you have an issue, and then so it's better. We saw that if you use a little bit, it's not a problem. The problem is that when you come out and you say to people, use a little bit, not a lot. So what does it mean? No, better don't use toilet paper so you don't get stuck.
Yeah,
you don't get stuck, because when the toilet is stuck, you're stuck.
Okay. So that makes sense.
That was the point. And also I want to say one more point. We advise, and also in our manuals like that, to use a bidet.
Okay. Yep.
To use a bidet, a wash, a hand wash, whatever you want to wash the toilet, to wash your bottom. Why? For 2 reasons. One, it's clean. And 2, it's much, 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 much better for the environment. What to do? Toilet paper comes from trees, and trees need to be cut down for this. So it saves you money when you don't use toilet paper, you're more clean, and it helps the system.
Good.
So that's good reasons to move to washing.
Cool. Good advice. All right. So, all right, let's look at this from a practical perspective for kind of like on a homestead scale. How would you set it up for just like a household level, kind of the best location for setting it up, like someone just, you know, your average family? Where do they start with this? What does it look like in everyday operation on their homestead?
We have a few. Okay. The system needs to be something that is easy for you to use. And that means that it needs to be something that you throw the waste, that you have the waste, and that the fertilizer can go to a place that you use it. That's one thing. The size of it is about 2 meters and 1 meter and a drop. Or we have a few sizes actually. We have a 2, a 4, and a 6. So it goes from 2 meters to 3 meters. It's a 2 cubic meter, 4 cubic meter system, and 6.
Yeah, okay. So that's the volume, not kind of the overall size. Gotcha.
Volume, and one is like more for like homesteaders, and then more for like farmers, and depends how much waste you have to treat.
Gotcha. Yep.
So the more waste you have, better you have a bigger system. So we have a few kinds of systems, and you can choose which one you want. Or if you want more toilets, let's say, so if you have more flushes, you need more flushes, you need more 2 toilets or whatever. So it also depends on that. So to put it in a place that that is easy for you to throw the waste, that is easy for you to use the liquid fertilizer, or that you can apply if it's with a toilet, the mulch basin or the drain field in an area that is good for you if you need to apply it, because it needs like to build something after the system. It needs to be flat, a flat place, the system, and it's better. The system likes heat. It works better in the heat. So it likes the sun as much as you can. And last but not least is that you want the gas pipe, like, let's say you want the system to be up to like 20 meters from the house.
Does that mean it can be up to 20 meters from the house, or do you want it at least 20 meters from the house?
No, up to 20 meters from the house.
All right, fantastic. And that the gas burner, is that something that's like an inside thing or an outside thing? It doesn't matter, either.
No, I have it in my house. Many people have it in the house. Some people put it as an outdoor kitchen. So you can decide. Some people like it because they're like, I like it in my house because then I use it every day, every coffee. I have a bio coffee every day, all the time. It's usable. You use it. The minute it's outside, then you need to work to use it.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people also like, all the frying to do outside of the house. So then they have they say, oh, wow, we have like an outdoor kitchen. I fry there. I do everything out there. So it depends on you, but it's something that's,
And it cooks in a very similar way to the sorts of like, LPG, propane, natural type gases that people might be familiar with in, at home.
Yeah, it's a different gas. It's a different gas and a different pressure. That's why we have our own burner, because we have to adjust to that. Like it's a special burner with size of a nozzle, like the whole of the gas coming out. The biogas comes as a gas. It comes in the form of the gas. When you buy LPG, then you get as a form of it's a liquid. It's liquid. You buy it, it's liquid because it's compressed as a liquid. And then it needs to go out, and it has a tiny, tiny hole to move it from like let's say gas form, liquid form to a gas form. So those are adjustments. That's why we have the stove. So the stove can be indoor, outdoor. However you feel.
All right. Yeah, that's awesome. So, Okay, so what's the kind of lifespan expected of a home biogas system then, if someone was to invest in one for their home or farm?
It's about up to 15 years, between 10 to 15 years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a significant amount of time. And you said that they're quite good out in the sun. Have you done testing in the kind of, well, what has the reaction been like for like the Aussie sun, which is notorious for being quite harsh? I mean, we're not the only place in the world with harsh sun, though. What has been your experience with the system being out exposed to like the equivalent of an Aussie summer?
Yeah, good question. So we do a lot of testing. One of our testing is testing. First of all, we have system in Australia for many years already. They're working, but I can say that we're also in this term working more and more to develop better and better materials that can know how to work with UV and how to adjust to. We have many layers in our system. This is part of our technique. So we have layers that work well with the gas and with the liquid, and we have layers that work well with the sun and the environment. So this is very important. This is part of our development. We don't believe that one layer can do everything. It's like our skin. We in the outside of the skin, we have something that can actually work with the sun. The inside has there's many layers in the skin. This is how we developed and succeed to have a system that also can be strong, be durable, and can be flexible and lightweight, because we developed it like we mimicked. Our system is mimicking nature, also the skin, also the animals, the cows. So it's like we're mimicking nature and putting it for our use. And I can say that we all the time, we tested, we have like a special test unit for UV, extreme UV test unit. So like every month in this test unit is like a year in Australia and other places. And we test the material all the time and we see how we can make it, how it's working. So now the material is very good. And of course, we're working to make it better all the time.
All right, awesome. Someone asked that if you had a setup for a household of say 2 to 3 people, would you need a bigger size if you wanted to add a toilet to that? Or like, how do you calculate what size system you need? Is it quite easy to do that through your website, or is there any tips you can give people?
I'll tell you, it's easy, but I'll tell you.
Okay.
Every size of system has amount of, let's say, times you can go to the toilet with sometimes like flashing down. So that's a calculation. If you have 2-3 people, then it's okay. It doesn't matter how many toilets you have. It's the amounts that altogether these 2-3 people are flashing down into the system. So number 2 can get about 25-30 times going to the toilet per day. Number 4 can double it. And that's number 6 even more. So the amount of toilets is not important. The amount of let's say people or amount of flushing time, amount of flushes is what's important, because we want the liquid to be in a retention time, like in the correct retention time in the system.
All right.
To everything be broken down and treated well.
Awesome. Okay.
So when the liquid comes out to the environment, it's already really broken down well and treated well, and then the environment is very easy for it to uptake it and use it and be treated.
Awesome. So have you, I guess, in your time with this, developing this system, have you seen this system make a true change in people's lives?
Oh, wow. A lot. There's many types. Okay, I can talk about from, let's say, farmers that I do projects. We work in many developing countries. So let's start there. In developing countries, work a lot of farmers, dairy farmers, and other people. There are people still cook on wood and charcoal. Wood and charcoal kills about 4.2 million women and children every year. It's a big gender problem. Going fetching for wood, big gender problem. The women were exposed to harassment and of course death. It's more or less like the second or third killer of children under the age of 5 is cooking, because to be exposed to all of this smoke every day for hours and hours is a real problem, makes lung problems, sicknesses, and immune system problem, and many issues. So this is one impact, that we stop all the need for cooking and wood and charcoal, and we exchange it with clean cooking gas. This way, the children, the women mostly in this area can clean and cook cooking gas, and the children can, that in the morning, the girls mostly go, if they go fetch for wood, they can go now to school. No, it's a different issue.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's a big point of also impacting money-wise, because they spend money on even buying today wood and charcoal, because many places don't have, if they don't have the forest next by, then they need to buy it, and it's a big cost for them. And also many people buy chemical fertilizer today, so we're saving the money in this point. Last but not least, these piles of waste, organic waste, manure, emit a lot of gas into the atmosphere, methane gas, that is about 30 times worse to the environment than CO2. So every system reduces every year about 80 bucks. Let's say in Kenya, we also saved 13 trees, jungle trees, to be cut down a year per family, because this is the numbers. So we save trees, we save the environment, we save the health, they produce money, and so it's a big benefit for the family, for the community, and also for, of course, for the country. It really makes them resilient to this. Of course, for us, let's say in people that are more, let's call it developed areas, developed areas, it's also a big impact. In my house, I'll talk about myself, okay, and other people.
Okay.
First of all, let's look about education. My children grew up knowing in their reality of their life that organic waste is not waste, it's a resource. It's a resource, really a resource. And every day in their life, they throw the organic waste into the Biogas system and they cook on it, and the liquid fertilizer, and etc. So they live this cycle of life. So they're in their head, it's a leap of thinking, and it's what we want for the future. And of course, not for the children only, also for ourselves as adults. It's a really miracle. Like when you see it, really, when you cook on it, when you really think about it, that you take the potato peel and you cook potatoes on a potato peel, and you can grow potatoes in the liquid fertilizer for the potato peel. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And you want this in your life. It's really, you want it. A miracle come true. So I think this is a big change. And of course, there's also money behind it. In my house, we saved thousands of dollars on energy in the last years, thousands of dollars on the liquid fertilizer, because if not, you use other liquid fertilizer. If you want a beautiful garden, you need to work at it. You need to bring fertilizer, you need to buy it. It doesn't come from the air. So you need to pay something and make something. So here you get it for free. You paid already, your groceries, you paid for them, you paid for the food, and you get for the next 10 years after you get the system, you get it for free. So why not? And of course, the environment, you save the environment a lot of greenhouse gas emissions. Because when you throw the waste and you don't, let's say, to the bin, and it goes into the pile somewhere with a truck, it emits the gas. The methane gas is being emitted. If you don't treat it, it's emitted. And better it will be treated and emitted, let's say, in the Biogas system. And when you burn it, it's you treat it actually, and you reduce the impact.
Wow, look, sounds like there's a return on investment, not just financially, but also, well, obviously environmentally, socially, and also on your health as well, because you're able to grow yummy organic food from the fertilizer. So yeah, it's
And also I have to say, like, there are people not far away from me, like a big city in Israel port, where they get all the, the gas, the oil, and there's a refinery, and the city is next to the refinery. In the city, that people are impacted from this refinery. There's an impact on their health, and they go more to the hospital. So if you can help reduce this impact and reduce the amount of trucks coming in and out, taking the waste, bringing LPG, less cars, less trucks, you're helping real life to be saved. Also in let's say developed areas, you less feel it, but it's actually there when you calculate the impact. For sure, if you're a homesteader, your aim is to stay more at home and not to go out with a car and trucks and bring trucks in and trucks out. And you want to make it as more and more home. So this is the tool for a homesteader. This is a tool for my children we're homeschooling until this year. This is a tool for people that do homeschooling. This is a tool. Yeah.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Is there any final thoughts that you might have that you think our audience might want to know about your system before we start wrapping up? I've taken up almost an hour of your time already.
Yeah. So first of all, we had in Australia today, we have like a front shipping area that, like, today when you order from Australia, it will be faster and in a better price.
Yep.
Before that, it was shipped from Israel and was taking more time. So we're taking care of the Australian audience.
Wonderful.
To get better, that we can give you a better experience and customer support and customer success. Talk to us, ask us questions. We're here. And I want to give thank you, first of all, to you and to all the people that already bought the system until now, for being part of this voyage, part of this dream come true, part of and then we opened this company to do good in the world. Of course, we need to bring also some food to our table and to have a little salary, but we come to do good in the world. And I think this is the way that we can do good in the world is by our decision, where we invest our time, where we invest our money, where we invest something. This is really the way we can impact. So I want to say thank you for people that decided until today to invest in HomeBiogas. And I want to say thank you also if one of you will, or a few of you hopefully will decide to join the family of HomeBiogas. And we're together. Together we will make this planet a better place to be in for the next generations, for our children, for ourselves. And I want to say again, it's an amazing experience. It's an amazing experience to light up a fire that comes from the waste at your home level. So I hope you can bring the magic into your home. It's beautiful magic.
Wow.
And thank you so much.
Wow, no, thank you. There's so many people in the comments I think are converts now. They're excited to jump into your website and have a look. And like I said, we've got a few members already using your systems. So yeah, everybody's really excited about that. And HomeBiogas is present on all different platforms across Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that thing. So I'll drop some links into the comments of this video, guys, so you can follow along with their journey and developments and evolutions. And everyone's saying thank you. They really loved the conversation. So I just want to say thank you so much, for taking the time to talk to us today. It's so very appreciated. Like I said, we're honored to have you here with us. And so we will leave all of our members to the rest of their day and say goodbye to you guys. So thanks again.
Have a beautiful weekend.
And we'll see everybody later. Thanks so much. See ya.
Bye-bye.